Om. Om. Sai Ram. Just to recollect what we were discussing last week, Swami has introduced the concept of the Arti, Artharthi, and Jignasu devotees. And he also had stated that we should always seek help from God and not from anyone else. I think we had a wonderful discussion on the practical aspects of following that last week, and I think that's where we are. So I will ask the sisters to continue from where we left off. Saira.
Saira. Now, a doubt may arise about the Artha Bhakta, the one who turns to the Lord to relieve his suffering. The question may be raised whether such a person can be called a Bhakta. There's no single person on earth who is free from some want or other. Each depends on someone or other to fulfill his wants, is it not? Now, to have such wants relating to objects is itself wrong. And to lean on a man like oneself to fulfill them is an even greater wrong. The Artha Bhakta turns not to man, but to the Lord whom he trusts and reveres. He implores him only to fulfill them. Though it is wrong to cultivate wants, he avoids a greater wrong of putting trust on inferior instruments. So he is superior, is it not? The superiority of this attitude can be seen when you know that it is not what you want that is important, but whom you ask for its fulfillment. The goal is the Lord. He is the giver. His grace alone can confer boons. When this faith is fixed, you can be certain that the Artha Bhakta is really worthy.
Thank you, Sister Narmada. This is what we had read and discussed last week. So I will just open up to the participants to share any thoughts you have. Before, if there's none, then we can move on. But I will open it up for discussion. I guess there's no questions or comments, and if no, we will move on.
The first three of the types of bhaktas mentioned in the Gita, the Artha Arti, and the Jidnasu, all adore the Lord in the implicit form as Paroksha, invisible, imperceptible. They seek the Lord as a means for the realization of their desires or goals. Of course, they will always be in prayerful and worshipful mood and remembering the Lord at all times. The Jnani, the fourth type mentioned in the Gita, has Eka, one bhakti, while the other have Aneka, not one, many bhakti. The others are attached to the objects or the states they desire, and for their sake are attached to the Lord also. They are devoted not merely to the Lord, but to the objective world also. The Jnani will not raise his eyes towards anything other than the Lord. Even if he does, he sees the Lord wherever his eyes are cast. That is the reason why the Lord has declared that the Jnani is the dearest to him. Of course, all are the same for the Lord, but among those who have reached his presence and are present there, prema love is explicit. Pratyaksha, immediate, directly cognizable and experientiable. Therefore, it can be inferred that the jnani is nearest to the Lord and so the dearest.
Thank you, sister. So there's nothing, I think, I think I'll just comment on the word paroksha. Paroksha is indirect is a better, yes, invisible in the sense that you don't see the Lord. Something indirect also, direct perception is not there. An indirect perception, that kind of a meaning can be attributed. Saira, Auntie, you have something to say?
Yeah, Swami uses the word aparoksha also. Paroksha and aparoksha both are used, but in I don't see aparoksha here.
Yes, Auntie.
He has not mentioned about it. Yeah, paroksha is invisible, imperceptible, he has written. Gnani అట్లుగాక స్వాత్మ రూపముగా అపరోక్షముగా నెరిగి సేవిస్తాడు. అట్టివాడు సదా భగవన్నిష్ఠుడై ఉండును. That's Swami is referring to Gnani for his aparoksha anubhuti. He experiences it directly.
So in the Telugu, they don't use pratyaksha, they use aparoksha?
I think, so now in Telugu, pratyaksha is not there. Paroksha, aparoksha, Swami has used.
Are we able to go through line by line and in Telugu and translate?
Okay. Arun, you can translate.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's right.
ఆర్తి అర్థార్థి జిజ్ఞాసు జ్ఞాని అనే ఈ 4 విధములైన భక్తులలో మొదటి ముగ్గురు అయిన ఆర్తి అర్థార్థి జిజ్ఞాసులు భగవంతుని పరోక్షముగా భావించి ప్రార్థింతురు.
Swami has listed the 4 bhaktas, Arti, Artharthi, Jijnasu, Jnani, and of these, the first 3 worship the Lord in an paroksha manner, which is indirect.
He is somewhere out, far away from.
Far.
They think like
outside your vision, outside your ability to perceive. That's the way.
అయితే జ్ఞాని అట్లు కాక స్వాత్మ రూపముగా అపరోక్షముగా నెరిగి సేవిస్తాడు.
So Jnani on the other hand, he sees Swatma means he sees within also, as his own self also. And he sees the Lord directly. His perception is very direct.
Yeah. అట్టివాడు సదా భగవన్నిష్ఠుడై ఉండును.
He's always established in the thought of the Lord.
పై మొదటి 3 మార్గముల వారు తమ తమ అభీష్ట ప్రాప్తి కోసం భగవంతుని సాధనంగా ఉపయోగించుకుందురు.
The first 3 actually use the Lord to fulfill their own wishes. They use him as a person who can help them fulfill their wishes.
Uncle, was the word sadhana there in that sentence?
Yeah, sadhana.
Yes.
So they're saying they use sadhana in order to fulfill.
So sadhana means as an instrument.
Oh.
See, so it's not,
That's not sadhana.
Like Swami is your, helper, It's sadhana means an instrument.
Okay. So you're using the Lord as an instrument?
Yes, somebody, who can get your job done. The agent, you can say. Sadhanam means it's some implement, some tool. Okay. Okay, auntie.
That's it. I think that paragraph I just read
Then-
it out.
Yeah.
Is there, because we have another whole paragraph, is there in more? in
Yeah,
the-
it's continuous. Actually, it's another paragraph in
Yeah.
Telugu.
You want me to read?
Yes, please.
Gnanidi Eka Bhakti.
One pointed bhakti is jnanis.
మిగిలిన ఆర్తి అర్థార్థి జిజ్ఞాసులను మూడు అవస్థల వారిది అనేక భక్తి.
They have varied devotions. Okay.
ఆ,
Aneka bhakti.
అనగా కోరే వస్తువులు యందు, విషయములందు, భూతములందు, భగవంతుని యందు, అన్నిటి యందు ప్రేమను ప్రవహింప చేయుదురు. Oh, they show love towards all objective world also, and then even in the Lord also they have that prema, that love.
So they love the worldly objects, worldly pleasures, bhutamulantu, all sorts of bhutam. I don't know. The 5
Elements.
elements you can say elements.
Mm.
Bhagavantuni antu means they also on God also. So their love is focused on so many different things.
Mm.
Okay.
అట్టివారు భగవంతునికే కాక వస్తు వాహనములను విషయ విహారములకు భక్తులగుదురు.
So they are devotees not only of God, but they are devotees of objects, houses, cars, all sorts of things, whatever worldly related things. So they are devotees for everything,
ఎవ్రీథింగ్.
not only God.
జ్ఞాని భగవంతునికి తప్ప మేరే ఇతరమైన వాటిని కన్నెత్తి కూడా చూడడు.
He will not even set his eyes on anything. His eyes will not rest on anything else other than God.
చూచినను అతనికి సర్వము భగవంతుడుగానే గోచరించును.
Even if he sees, he will see everything as God.
అందువలనే పరమాత్ముడు జ్ఞాని నాకు అతి ప్రియమైన వాడని తెలిపెను.
So because of that, the Lord has said that the jnani is the most dearest to the Lord.
భగవంతునకు అందరూ సమానమే అయినను చెంత చేరి సన్నిహితులుగా ఉన్న వారిపై ప్రేమ ప్రత్యక్ష గోచరము అనుభవము కనుక జ్ఞాని భగవంతునికి అతి సమీపమైన ఉన్నవాడనే తలంచవలెను.
Though Lord loves everyone equally, the jnani is closer to him and you can nearer to him than everyone else because of his sannihita, means his connection with the Lord, his
closeness.
closeness. It's not.
And I think Auntie used the word pratyaksha there. What?
Yeah.
Yes, pratyaksha. That means God sees God directly with his eyes. Directly.
ప్రత్యక్షముగా గోచరించును. He can see him.
See, Swami says, Unnavari prema pratyaksha gocharamu. So the God's love will be directly perceived on such people, or by such people, I think. Sorry, auntie.
Correct.
So we will be able to see God's grace falling directly on such people, can be seen because of, and their experience also will be there. Anubhavamu, kanuka jnani, Bhagavantunika ati samipamu, is very, very near the Lord. You can think so. Kalancha valanu, you can think so, something like that. Kalancha valanu. Oh, you have to think like that. Is that, Andy? Which one? What's the right way to pronounce?
భగవంతుడి గతి ఉన్నవాడనే తలంచవలెను.
So Chenta Cheri means that Nani has reached the Lord. Actually, that also means he has reached the presence of the Lord. Cheri, auntie?
చెంత చేరి means కిట్ట పోరదు. Nearness. చెంత చేర్చి.
So the sentence says that even though everyone is the same for the Lord, the jnani is closer.
He has reached closer. And
So
because of that, the love of the Lord will be falling directly and can be seen by experience also.
and what would be the difference between, I think there's two, like Sannihita and Samipya, I think?
Both Swami has used.
Both mean nearness, or?
Samipa is close. Sannihita is, there is some connection also. And exact meaning is
Nihita, Sannihita.
Sannihita.
Saira, when I look at this um, passage and the contents, I agree with Gnani's, the fourth type. They are very near to the Lord, but how can the Lord says only the wise are dearest to me? If the God's eyes all are same, he doesn't have any likes or dislikes, then how can the Lord declare that the wise are dearest to me, not others? Maybe the translation is a bit different, or maybe the God has declared that only the wise are dearest to me. Nearest, I agree, because the Jnanis earn that privilege because of their sadhana and everything. They are very nearest to God, and someone is dearest or dearest, that statement should be coming from the person, in this case, God. Can God declare that only those people are dearest to me, not others? Because each person is in a different stage. At God's eyes, everyone should be the same. There may be different levels. That's why I thought whether God can say that. Thank you, Saira.
I can give you an example of a mother. Mother has 4 children. They're all equal to her. But one of them will be little favorite to her. Have you not seen that? We have experienced it. One child will be favorite because it needs help, or it may be, I think that child becomes nearer to the mother and dearest to the mother. Even though all children are same to her, she shows a special concession to that child. Like that, we have to take. I think I don't know, I'm interpreting like that.
I thoroughly understand, Mani Auntie, that in every household, there would be a favorite child, the father or mother. But the other 4 children always complain, Amma or Appa, you are very dear to that child. You shouldn't be like that, maybe that sort of complaint I am putting to the board too. Thank you, Saira.
But that special quality in that child makes it dearer to the mother or the father. Some special quality may be there. So also this Gnani has got a special quality. He is not after anybody. Ananya Bhakti. He has got that kind of bhakti which he is devoted to the Lord only. He doesn't ask for anything. So Gnani is naturally Gnani is. The other 3, that Arthi, Artharthi and Jignasu, they are all, of course, they love Lord. But at the same time, their interests are different, They love Vishaya Asakti, they love senses, enjoyment, and this own possessions and other things. But this child is not like that, Gnani. Sairam.
Thank you.
Sairam, Sai Satish.
Saramana, just adding to what Auntie's example. So I will take, like Swami has, I think, also told, like these 4 children. One is like a newborn child, which is Aarti, and one is maybe in the kindergarten and first grade, which is like Artharthi. Another is maybe 6th grade, which is Jignasu, and another in college, which is Jnani. The mother loves all the 4 children, but in terms of attending to, when the newborn baby cries, she immediately rushes to attend to, because the one in the college is having sufficient strength or capabilities to take care of themselves. So it goes with the thing that the one in college knows that the mother loves me and loves the other 3 children as well. So that understanding in that college going child is to such a matured level that they are able to perceive the love of the Lord or Bhagawan, and they know for sure that independent of whatever it is, the mother loves them. While for the Arti, Artarti, or Jignasu, they may only, when they see the mother's love exhibited, they will feel that the mother loves me. But in the case of Jnani, they know that always mother loves me. So in that context of perception, they become both near and dear. But in terms of love, it is exhibited universally across all beings in the same fashion. But being able to feel that love is what is being shown by that college going child or Jnani. So it is in terms of, like, the sun rays falls equally on everyone, but it is, or the rain falls equally on everyone. Only if the cup is turned upwards does it receive the rain. If it is turned downwards, it doesn't. So likewise, where are we focused to? So in terms of rain falling on all, or sunshine coming on all, or God's love coming on all, it is universal, it is equal. It is our capability to receive and feel that reception which makes us not just near but dear to the Lord. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Yes, Brother Dasan.
So Sairam, brother. So I'm looking at that in a different angle, because we are looking at in a worldly perspective. But here we have to, when we follow Swami's sadhanas, Swami's teaching, we going to change closer to the dearest to the Swami. Our action, our words, thoughts, all going to be similar to the Swami. You won't see any difference, because you'll see the divinity everywhere. So we are not going to look at the worldly object. So if you want to be a dearest to the Swami, you have to be as same as Swami's whatever the attributes. So we have to learn and we have to practice and we have to be same as him. Is for an example, when the drama is returning from the jungle to the Ayodhya, the Bharadan, the people could not differentiate with the Bharadan and Lord Rama, because that is because he practiced, he think about Lord all the time. He changed as Lord Rama. So that is my understanding, brother. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Anyone
Sairam,
else? Yes,
Sairam,
Auntie,
Aruna.
please go ahead.
Actually speaking, Jnani doesn't have any objective world attraction drowning him, first thing. Secondly, he has so much love and devotion to the Lord, he doesn't even lift his eyes towards any other distractions. That is the state which calls Jnani. Like the other 3, we fall into those category. We are in the objective world. Whenever we need something, then we are clinging on to God and grabbing to God to help us. So that is the state we are. To become Jnani, focus should be only God, nothing but God. Thank you, Sairam. This is what I understood. If I'm wrong, correct me.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Thank you. Yes, Brother Ganin.
My understanding of love is pure and sublime. It doesn't have a quantification. You can't quantify a love. You cannot just say categorize a love in any compartment whatsoever. It's just according to your evolution, like my understanding. One typical example, I have this child. I mean, I'm seeing it every day, so I can tell you. Even yesterday, I had my grandchild come and ask me to germinate this seed that she found somewhere. But I kind of took it because I have to attend to the sister. This morning when I woke up, it was hitting my mind that I didn't do it. And I had to call him and say, when you come next week, I've got a pot ready and stuff. Until then, I was satisfied. So how can I quantify that love and say, listen, I mean, I should have had been all aware. And if I was really in that situation where the love is the child's love, I don't know how much to me, but I felt that I missed that, So it gives me a lot of feeling that the love is so unquantifiable. You have to just grab it or live in it, like at the same time try to develop it. Each time we are evolving, and that's my definition anyway.
Thank
I
you
can't
very
put
much.
a number
Yes.
on it.
You can put a number on it, you said.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Brother Sitara.
Saram, brother. So another humble perspective is, just think creatively that God is a person like us, though he doesn't have a name or form. Just imagine God is a person like us, you and me, standing in front of the mirror and looking at his own form in front of the mirror. So if he sees himself as somebody who is Ardharthi or, Jignasu or Arthi or Jnani, Jnani is the form which is closest to his form, like closest to the formless, if you really say in that sense. But if you imagine him to be a person in front of the mirror, Jnani is the one who can see God as God. But rest of the stages of this devotee are still having some Vikruti tattvas, right? Like they take different forms either at thought level or at word level or at action level. But a Jnani is almost there, except for the whatever small particles are there on the mirror, except that he almost resembles God. I think that is one reason why probably Swami would have told, he is the most dearest and nearest to me because he looks like me, he acts like me, he thinks like me. So I thought probably that is one reason why he's telling he is nearest and dearest to me. Rest are also near and dear to me, but they still have to kind of purify their own form to reach this stage. So it is not they, or here again I'm using wrong words, it is only one person. It's there. We are not dividing the entire world into these 4 batches, but it is only one person. Each of us are going through the stages, all these 4 stages, and we are hoping to reach that Jnani stage and finally merge with that, the other side of the mirror, which is God, by coming out of this samsara sagara. Sairam.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Anyone else has something to comment?
Brother, the jnani is how the state of mind is, right? That is near and dearest to that, how we interpret. But for the Lord, who is near and dear, the Lord only knows. But for us, we think, okay, this jnani has given up everything. That's a state of mind. They are thinking they are near, and because they can realize that they have given up everything and they are looking only for God. That's how we interpret. But I think for the God is, for everyone is near and dear. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, sister. Any other thoughts, comments? Yeah, just summarize. I think everyone has touched so many different aspects of explaining much different ways. So I'll try to summarize what I gathered. The reality is when the Lord says someone is very dear, we should not take it as that he has a preference for them. See, generally, if with somebody we like more, we try to give them, we are partial. We give them some special, treatment. But that's why Swami has also clarified, for God, everyone is the same, which I think everyone stated, because his love is shared equally, just like the sun's rays. But the thing is, if somebody does what the Lord says more and more, of course, he's going to be pleased with them. They will have pleased the Lord, that, they are listening to the Lord. That's all the Lord is telling. I still love everyone, but this fellow is doing what I ask him to do. He's drawing closer. So I think he's pleased by that. I think that's what he means by someone is dear. It's not that that person is now going to be given preferential treatment. I am not going to neglect others. I don't think that's the sense we should take it. Number one. Number two, I think brothers have said, Swami has always said, you are as far from me as how far you are. Okay. So the distance, the closeness depends on where you are. It's the same distance God is also. So that, because God will reach anyone, but if we are running away from him, then we are only keeping that distance. So if we go close to that, the Lord is also close to us. The same way, if God is dearer to us, God is also equally dearer to. God also feels dear. So ultimately, he only reflects who we are. And as brothers have also pointed out, when you say closer, not only closer in form, closer in quality, closer in every aspect of God, that they become God themselves. I think, which was also highlighted by, I think, Brother Dasan and Brother Sitara. So the Lord is encouraging us to get closer to him and be dearer to him. And he says, but he is still equally accessible to everyone. But then it's us. That's why the gopis had one Krishna for themselves, when the Ras Leela. Everyone had a Krishna, so that is possible with God. So I think that's what everyone, explained in very different ways, very nice. So I thought I would just summarize it. Thank you. Yeah, the attraction, the Jnani doesn't have any distraction. So of course, he's only looking at the Lord. The Lord is also going to look at him all the time. So I think that's it. I'll just pause and see if anyone has something to say. Otherwise, we can move on.
Anna, just adding to what you said. So we have that quote, God, if you think you are, God you are. Dust, if you think you are, dust you are. Verily, thoughts are things. As you think, so you become. Sairam.
Yad
Thank you.
bhavam tad bhavati.
Yes. So I think if we want to become the dearest, then the Lord should become the dearest in our life. So I think with that, if everyone is okay, we can move on.
Of course, it is the nature of fire to warm you up when you shiver from cold. But how can it help you to keep warm if you do not approach it but keep away at a distance? Similarly, those who are earnest to remove the chillness of worldly ills have to seek the fire of jnana, which is won by the grace of God and be in the immediacy of God. The sadhakas, in the midst of their efforts, sometimes imagine God to be less glorious than he really is. They feel that the Lord differentiates between sinners and saints, good and bad, jnanis and anjnanis. These are unsound inferences. The Lord does not separate men thus. If he really did so, no sinner can survive his anger on earth for even a minute. All are living on the earth, since the Lord has no such distinction. This truth is known only to the jnani. Others are unaware of this. They suffer under the false belief that the Lord is somewhere far, far away from them.
Thank you, sister. Swami is also clarifying more for us to understand. So I will open it up for any comments. There's nothing for me to add here. I'm reminded of a story. I think everyone's keep quiet, so I thought I'm reminded of a story which Swami has told. There was a devotee of the Lord in the Muslim faith, apparently. He always, was able to talk to the Lord. One day, every day people come and he feeds people who, beggars. Before he eats, he always fed people. So one day at mealtime, somebody came. And so this person asked him to go wash his hands and feet and come, as per Muslim tradition. And that fellow refused to do so. He said, I'm hungry, you give me, I don't have time. So apparently that devotee threw him out. He said, you are not being true to your faith, I can't feed you. And that fellow left. So apparently that day when the devotee was trying to talk to the Lord was upset. He was not talking to him. And he asked him, oh Lord, why you seem to be displeased with me? Then the Lord apparently said, look here, this fellow has lived on earth for so long. Even though he doesn't practice what I ask him, I have still been feeding him. You just could not put up with him for one day. So that means the Lord was not discriminating. He is just feeding everyone in this world, whatever they do. He keeps them alive. He keeps them, God keeps them healthy. And hoping, I guess, one day everyone will become better. So God does not differentiate. For us to get to that state is very tough.
Anna, just you got me thinking on another story on the same lines. So this, I think, Swami had mentioned where there's this king who keeps giving charity to everybody, so all people come to him for taking alms. So one day a beggar comes, and when he comes in a little early, and he happens to peep into a window where the king is kind of praying to the Lord, but it is seeming like he's begging, kind of a thing. Then this beggar who has come turns around and starts walking away from the palace. So immediately the king he takes note of that, and he sends his guards to get that person back. And when he is brought back, he says, you didn't receive alms from me, you left without that, what is the reason? And he says, the beggar says, I came thinking here that you are the provider, but I saw you begging from the Lord or whomever he was praying to at that point. So he said, why should I beg from you? I can directly ask the Lord. Instead of coming to another beggar, I can directly ask the Lord. So that way, that thing of arti, artarti, where you directly ask the Lord rather than asking another person, makes complete sense. So just thought of it. Saira.
Thank you.
So, Sairam, brother. So,
Yes.
I can tell one more example. If the light post is there, if you want to get more light, then you have to go closer to the light post. If you're far away, you won't get the light. So we have to understand that if you want to become a jnani, you have to win the God's grace. once you win the God grace, then you can become a jnani. So you need to get the light from the God to see the world. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. I guess if
Brother,
everyone is yes,
brother,
yes.
Hi Ram. So the Lord doesn't differentiate the sinner and the saints. That's fine. So where this then how we say we are not we have to be fearful, saying the Lord has a discrimination. Don't so something is not going along with that that Lord doesn't differentiate kind of. There is a consequences. So how that we differentiate, that is a karma that we are getting back. That's not with the God's will or something. So God doesn't, fine. God does it, right? So for the Dharma, if there's in the world, there's a lot of other may take place, then the Lord take the avatar to restore the Dharma, right? So in this case, so Lord will discriminate, right? When you do good things and bad things.
Okay, sister. Brother Varadhan, please go ahead.
This is like, okay, it's a bank, there's a CEO, but the banks have the regulations and everything. So how much you put in, and then you have deposit $10,000, $50,000, the interest is maybe different because they give you that. The same thing, the CEO does make the rules and that's it. He doesn't care about what is going on. The same way the bank, the same way the God doesn't do anything. But like whatever you do, that is a karma. That is collecting. If you have been doing a good things, the good karma, and so bad things, the bad karma. Your account is like that. The same way, the God's principle. The God doesn't do anything, but like he doesn't know, he doesn't do anything. But according to what you do, that is the consequences of the reaction. And so that is my opinion. Saram, thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. I think sister, I don't know. Yes, auntie, please go ahead.
Actually, the sadhakas, they feel that Lord is differentiating between sinners and it's not so. These are unsound inferences. That's what Swami is trying to tell. We may be thinking while we are doing sadhana, we think, oh, God is not favoring me, he is partial to others. That's our feeling, that's all. It's not so. God is same to everyone. Sorry.
Thank you very much, auntie.
Maybe I just want to add that maybe God, when he comes down and takes an avatar, maybe he does differentiate in terms of his actions and what he does, but the undifferentiated part maybe is the feeling or the love that he has. So even killing someone may be an expression of God's love. So he loves everyone the same, though the actions may be different. Similarly, how a teacher may love all the students in the class the same, but she may praise one and reprimand another.
Thank you very much, Kalyani. Yes, brother Ganin.
What Brother Vardhan alluded to, which I understand and I quite agree with him, is it's actually a self-fulfilling kind of a law that what you do, you get the repercussions of it. So there's always a cause and effect. So whatever good we're doing and we create that kind of karma, it definitely doesn't go away. Just like as you throw a stone into a water, you see the ripples and it makes waves, and the consequences of that, it sort of helps the ecosystem in some way, this way or that way. So it's actually a self-fulfilling. That's my understanding.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Any other thoughts? Yes, brother Dasam.
Saram, brother. So we studied the God is a witness only. We came to this world with karma and impulses, sins, and desire. We have desire too. So if we want to go closer to the God or dearest to the God, we have to understand our main goal. We have to be realize what is the purpose of this life. If we realize, if you want to become self-realization or become a jnani, so with the bhakti and all the sadhanas are there, with the grace, whatever we the first paragraph, with the grace of the God only we can achieve that one. Others, even if you do bad, you're going to outcome is there for you. God is a witness only. He doesn't dislike or like nobody. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Any other thoughts? So maybe just summarize and add my piece also to this. I think nicely explained. The God has created a system which is self-correcting. Karmas, the repercussions actually drive us forward. That takes care of itself. But I think also sister's question was, then why does God come down? And I think Kalyani answered that question also. That God, for correction, he comes correcting the course of things. So I think there are two things happening. One is the system in which all of us are traveling, which needs some tending. God comes and changes, make sure that the dharma is in place, so the system functions as is. You can call it system maintenance. Because systems sometimes, the world dharma system, it doesn't work the way God has initially created. So he has to come down once in a while and tinker with it and make sure that it functions properly. I think that's the role. So, but individuals is slightly different. The Atman, which is going through this creation, is different. That's the way God is saying, you have to progress towards me, or you have to become like me. So I think that journey is different. So whatever the Lord does, comes and does, sins or dharma, re-establishment of dharma, is system correction, so that our journey functions. It's like the roads have to be mended, winter maintenance, road maintenance, so that people can travel. If the roads are damaged, come and fix the problem. So the different margas, jnana marga, bhakti marga, they are all paths on which we are traveling. So if those paths, highways require some looking out, the Lord comes. And I think that's the way I understand. So I think others have also stated the same things. So I hope, Sister Aruna, you're okay.
Yes, brother, that's very nice. But the Hiranyakasipu story is a one individual, right? So Lord differentiated like what is right and wrong. How that story comes to play with the differentiation. Like that, so you are seeing something different, brother?
See, actually, Hiranyakashipu himself, because he was already promised by God that he will take care of him. That's why he came. So
okay. On that point of view, you look.
So no one was ignored. For him, Hiranyakashipu was equally dear, just like Prahlada, in terms of how he showed the love. So the thing is, Hiranyakashipu didn't go anywhere, but during that, through that process, God also set an example for others to follow.
Okay, that is also love base to
so it's
correcting.
okay. So God's love for Hiranyakashipu is independent of him fixing the system, which was which he had damaged. So he takes care of both.
Good, thank you. Now I got it. Thanks.
That's why in Sanatana Dharma, no one is outside the purview of God's love. Everyone, but the way he loves and corrects people will be slightly different. I think Kalyani was mentioning that, some people have to, some people you tell, before you tell, they fix themselves. Some people you tell, then they fix themselves. Some people need a bit of a push. Some people need a punch. Some people need something more harsh. Whatever works, but God has to get the job done, and he knows best. by all out of love.
That's the reason, Sai Ram, I don't know. That's the reason Asuras were punished, but God took gave liberation
Yes.
at the same time.
Yes, yes. The story of the Subramanya, that having that the flag and this peacock is from killing the Asura,
Asura, exactly.
and he gave that motion. Yeah, yeah. Oh, good. Thank you.
So choice is ours finally. Which form of love do we want?
Yes. We have to take it everything as Swami's will.
Okay. Okay, if everyone is okay, we can move on to the next.
The jnani is free from Maya. He is unaffected by the gunas, rajas, tamas, or even sattva. The jinasu, the seeker of knowledge, however, is different. He uses his time for unbroken contemplation of the divine in pious deeds and holy thoughts. The other two, the Artha Arti and the Artha, they gather elevating experience and ruminate over the real and the unreal and transform themselves into jishnasus, seekers of knowledge. Later, they become jnanis and are saved. The goal is reached thus, stage by stage. You cannot attain the goal in one sleep. This can be better understood by an example. Jnana is like the through train. That is to say, the passenger through train. Yes. That is to say, the passenger need not detrain and enter another train to reach the destination. The Jinnasu has entered the through carriage. He too need not detrain and board another train, but the carriage will be detained and attached to other trains en route. He reaches at last the place he wants to reach. The Artha boards the ordinary train, and since the carriage he is in is neither through or one in a through train, he has to alight at a number of places en route and wait until another train comes by, so that he can reach the goal by stages. It is a long and arduous journey, but in spite of those difficulties, it can be accomplished by the Artha if he persists. The goal is attained by all. Only the process and the pace are different. No wonder the Lord has declared more than once that all these four types of bhaktas are my own. Why has he so declared? Because they all seek the same high goal.
Thank you very much. Swami has, provided explanation of, where we belong and how we should get going. Hopefully we get the right ticket for the right train and board. So I will stop. If anyone has something to say, please go. So.
So Sairam brother, so one day everyone has to reach to the God. So only difference is the time. If we take the train that reach to the destination, you don't need to get down and everything, we are okay. And most of us, what we are doing, we have to change the train all the time, then it take longer time. But eventually we will reach there. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you, brother. Depends, sometime on the way we want to look at a few attractions.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
that-
brother.
yeah. I don't know. That is what I wanted to ask you. Why they have to get down and take so many different trains? That is the attraction.
Yes, because we buy ticket for some place. We want to get to the final destination, but we think
Quicker.
before going there, let us check this out also, and then we'll
Oh,
check the other thing out also. That is why we get distracted. Is my understanding. Yes,
okay.
Auntie Mani was.
Our vasanas also are responsible for distraction. We want to get down and taste because the impressions are so strong that it makes us get down at different stations and then try to taste the fruit of our action. Saira.
Yeah, because in some stations there may be good tea stalls.
Good food.
Somebody may have some better fast food.
Samosa.
And the train may take off while we are enjoying the meal. Yes, Brother Bharatan.
So it is like you're traveling on the highway and wanted to go to washroom, but then when go to the washroom and you see the food stall and you spend more time there, right? So that's how whenever you have more attractions, your journey is late. If you don't have an attraction, so then you will go faster. That's the difference. Sairam.
Sairam, brother. Thank you.
Sairam, if that is the case, then why Swami said life is a game, play it? Swami knows that there would be some distractions or there would be some opportunities, and so if we go straight and reach the destination, then where we would be getting the chance to play all of these games in between.
Sairam, sister. Good. Just Brother Kanin.
My conflict will be like, if I am going to seek sannyas, how will I be able to renounce the real world as a family man and go on with it? So if you do this way, you are in trouble. If you do the other way, you are in trouble. In practical way, how will I be able to convince myself that I'm doing the right, taking the right approach by renunciation or by complete bhakti? It's a path that I'm sure a lot of people have. Sairam.
Sairam, brother. I think there are two questions now, I think, for people to comment on. One is Sister Ananti's game, and second one is Brother Ryan is asking how can he renounce? So I will open it up. Yes, Brother Tasan.
So just to renounce and for the game and everything, all depend on your mind. So simple answer, everyone knows the answer is, if padlock is the your heart, the key, if you turn into left side, you are locking everything, desires and everything. If you open the same key, mind, in the right side towards God, you can achieve the goal. It's all on you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Sairam. Anyone has?
Sairam. So I'll just go with the train thing and then come to sister's question. So I think most of the time when you're going on the train, you're busy pulling the chain, that we don't go forward. In the sense, something or the other, our attention is on, like we know, I'm using the thing of pulling the chain in the train because we are so caught up in the things that we desire that we forget the destination. We are more focused on the platform or the sightseeing and so on. So coming to sister's point, life is a game. Play is more in the sense that it has been translated with like karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That is the, like, I would take that, because you play the game, whether we take it as soccer or because T20 is on, World Cup is going on for cricket, we take it as a T20 game. We play the game with our 100% focus, with our 100% effort, but we don't go with that expectations. Like we renounce the thing in the sense whether it's a win or a loss. So that is the thing in terms of whatever we do, every action, whether it's our thought, word, and deed, we give it our 100%, expecting or going without the expectation for the fruits of the action. If we can play the game in that fashion and just be there with moment to moment, I'm now in the study circle, I give my 100% to this. So if in that fashion we are at our whatever we are thinking or saying or doing, at that phase, moment to moment, being in the present, offering to Swami, then it becomes a game in the sense it is not about the success or defeat, but it's the way we embrace the success or the defeat because we have given our 100%. So in that way, life is a game, because usually when we watch a game, we enjoy it kind of a thing. But while playing the game, it becomes difficult because while watching the game, we are a spectator, we are able to see both sides, whether we call it karmendriya, jnanendriya, or good actions, bad actions, or outside game, whatever. When we are spectator, we are able to enjoy it. But when we get into the game, while playing the game, also if we are able to enjoy it by giving our 100%, then we are really playing the game without the expectations of the fruits of the action. So I would put it in that line as even the train journey, if we are focused on the destination part and play towards that, then we are not really affected by what happens. And even while sitting in the train, we keep the baggage on the train. We don't keep the baggage on ourselves, because many times we sit in the train, but if I have to take it as a symbolism, I carry the baggage with me, which makes it difficult for me. If I can keep it on the train and the Swami is carrying it, then it becomes easier for me to play that game as well. Thank you, Saram.
Thank you very much, brother. Anyone else has something to say? I think,
Brother,
yes.
When you're explaining the other thing, I want the little bit of clarification on the second paragraph where this Jignasa has entered through the carriage. He too need to detrain and board another train.
He does not need to.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're, yeah.
So I don't know, through courage.
That part I didn't understand. So
okay, so
okay, thank you.
See, the best railways are in India. The thing is, if you're going to, if you board, if you want to go to a particular place, you can get into what's called a through carriage. Which what happens is, the carriage, you don't have to get down and get in. The carriage will be attached in some station to a train which is going to the final destination. So you are still inside the carriage. You don't get down. Okay, you sit in the same. They will decouple the carriage in some station. Then it will be coupled to another train, and then you will go to another place, and there you may be decoupled. But you are not getting down from the carriage.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
So that means you don't have any distractions.
Okay.
So that's that.
Thank you.
Auntie, Money Auntie, you wanted to say something, please?
Yeah, Jigdasu is a seeker of knowledge. Just he uses his time only for the contemplation of the divine. That's what it says in the first paragraph. So he is sitting in the train, but his carriage will be attached to another train. So that means his concentration, his effort, everything is on that divine. So, but in course of time, when time comes, he doesn't get down from the train, but his carriage will be attached to another train so that he reaches the goal. Anything?
Yes, very good.
So,
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Sister, it's also like, sorry, go ahead.
Sai Samaruno.
Yes, Auntie.
Ganin was asking about the renunciation. Isn't it the 4 stages of life?
Yes.
Yes.
Brahmacharya. That is, I think we have to explain to him.
Okay, so I think, okay, thank you. I think first I will address Sister Arina's question. Sister, you have what I call direct flights, no stopovers. You fly, okay? Then sometimes some flights, say you sit in the same flight, it may stop at a couple of places and go to, so it's not direct. Sometimes if you are going from one place to another, you can tag the luggage that will go straight somehow. It will be getting loaded to some other flight and go. In some places, you have to clear that luggage, you have to take it and you have to board again and check it in some, that kind of thing. So depends how we go about, I think. That because through courage is only, the people are not forgetting how railways work, I guess, in other countries.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
And just to address Sister Ananti's question, I think Sai Satish has addressed. See, in the game of life, sister, there will be distraction, there will be hurdles, but still we should be able to shoot the goal. That is unavoidable in this world. So if you are a good player, you will be able to dodge anyone who is coming to block you from reaching the goal and go. So if someone is very skilled, no one can take, if a soccer player, if he wants to put a goal, no one can stop. He will know how to go. But others may have to pass, go around and sometimes lose the ball and things like that. So Swami wants us to be focused on how do we reach the goal in spite of all the hurdles, distractions, and obstructions. I think but which is unavoidable in the world. I hope that also addresses.
Sairam, maybe just while we all play, most of us, rather than enjoying, we always physically, mentally, intellectually, we will be stressed out at the time of we play the game. Maybe at the end we may be in success or we may be in failure. But the brother Sai Sadish beautifully explained that certainly we wouldn't be having in that mental attitude to enjoy while we play the game. We will be stressing out what I would do in the next, or who will be going to guard this and that while we are at the peak moment of the game. That's why practically in most of the time, rather than enjoying, most of us, we always stress out and suffer ourselves with the outcome. We shouldn't be like that, but most of us, we still do that. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, sister. Just to address Brother Ganin's question on the sannyasa, Swami has spoken about it. I think ideally Swami would say sannyasa is in the mind, as Brother Dasan said. At the mental state, we can always renounce, even though physical circumstances may not allow. But there are a couple of Vahinis where Swami has told, how someone should take up Vanaprastha, what is the process that you have to, if you are married, you have to make sure that your children are all settled. And if there are children who needs have special needs, then you have to make arrangements for the children. Then he says, someone, if they are married, they should ask the permission of the spouse. If the spouse says, I am also coming, then they should be taken along. And then you live in the forest as a brother and sister, not as a couple. So Swami has given multiple, and if nothing is possible, at the mental level, you can renounce, be detached to everyone and everything in this world. So I think that's, I think Swami is covering some of this in Geetha Vahini later on also. So Brother Kanin, go ahead.
Just to answer, because your answer really provoked me in the sense that it's a way of Swami's telling that if you keep thinking about it, the answer will come. Like he'll be there for you. I suppose the love for it or something like that. Thank
Yes,
you.
brother. Thank you. Yes, Auntie, Mani Auntie, you want to say something? Share.
To take up sannyasa is not an easy decision. It requires a lot of determination. And in the first paragraph, Swami is saying, to attain the stage of Jnani, you go through all these first. Arthi, Artharthi, and then Jignasu, and then come to these are the 4 stages. What is the goal is reached thus, stage by stage. You cannot attain the goal in one leap. That's what Swami is saying. Same like sannyasa. To take up sannyasa, it is, you need a lot of courage and determination to take up that sannyasa at a young, like Shankaracharya or Ramana Maharshi. They all had that kind of this thing, courage to take up that sannyasa. Sannyasa is to be taken by ordinary people. It is a very difficult decision. So first of all, go through Grahastha-ashrama, then Vanaprastha, then you come to a stage where, as Arun said, mentally you can renounce, mentally you can take up sannyasa, though not physically going to ashram and then taking ochre ropes and then doing meditation in the forest. It's not.
Thank you. It's like many are called and few are chosen as they.
Yeah. Saira.
Christian.
Yes. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Anyone else has? Yes, go ahead.
Another definition of sannyasa that Swami has told often is hands in the society and head in the forest. So I thought I'll just remind that often quoted Swami's saying. Sairam.
Otherwise, if you're not prepared and we become sannyasis, it'll be hands in the forest and head in the.
Yes.
Like Swami has spoken about many such sannyasis. He says many of them are interested in building empires and things like that. That's.
Kaadu vaavandrathu veedu poponu. That's what we are saying. Here, veedu vaavandrathu kaadu poponu.
So, brother, one last question. I think it's almost time. One question is, so are we all jignasus discussing in this satsang? Just food for thought.
That's very good question.
Trying, brother, trying.
Yes, see, all of us, we may have been arthi, artharthi, and some of we have landed into the jignasu. So that's the reality, but even have the thirst. Jignasa is one who is thirsting for knowledge, thirsting for jnana. So I think all of us have, otherwise, we will not be spending time trying to read and trying to understand, try to put it into practice. So of course, that's why Swami has given it as a path for everyone to follow. He says everyone should study Sai literature. And in the tradition of Brahmana, Swadhyaya means we should always study every day. We should set time to study, contemplate, ruminate. Is part of the path to Brahman. So, of course, we may be, the time allocation may be, not full, but we are still allocating some time. As Sister Aruna said, we are trying.
Part-time.
Part-time, but it's okay. We are part-time jignasis.
So these sessions are like the true carriage that Swami mentioned. Every week we get into this carriage and we kind of get transported back to our destination.
Yeah, I think if we land fully into the carriage, if we have only one leg in this carriage and another leg in another carriage, then it's a problem.
That's the that's the situation.
We have to fully get in. I think that's.
That's why we are making the effort.
Okay, it's 4:16. I don't know whether we should read another slide, or I think we will read, but we may not be able to discuss.
Correct.
Sorry, can I just ask what it says in the Telugu for the sentence in the first paragraph where it says the artharti and the artha, they gather elevating experience and ruminate. What is the elevating experience?
This is the Gnani is free from Maya. Yeah,
Gnani mayatitudu, guna rahitudu. That paragraph, auntie.
జిజ్ఞాసు అట్లు కాక అన్య అపేక్షలకు చోటివ్వక నిరంతరము భగవత్ చింతనలో సత్ప్రవర్తనలతో సదాలోచనలతో సత్ ఆలోచనలతో కాలమును గడుపును. ఇక ఆర్తుడు క్రమక్రమేణ విషయ విచారణ చేసి సాధనలతో విశ్వాసములతో జిజ్ఞాసులుగా మారి దాని ద్వారా జ్ఞానమును చేరగలుగుతున్నారు, దాన్ని ఆశ్రయించి తరించుచున్నారు. So what was that exact?
There's no elevating experience mentioned, Kalyani.
The translator went through that elevating experience. Through translating that, they experienced that. Oh my God, you know.
What does it actually say?
What it actually says is, auntie, Swami's arthatulu. Ika arthudu
క్రమక్రమేణ
step by step
విషయ విచారణ చేసి
by inquiry
సాధనలతో విశ్వాసములతో జిజ్ఞాసులుగా మారి, so he transforms himself. Artharthi and Arthi, they
sadhana and faith, vishwasa.
Yeah, జిజ్ఞాసులుగా మారి దాని ద్వారా జ్ఞానమును చేరగలుగుతున్నారు, దానిని ధరించుతున్నారు.
I think Sitaram was asking the question and Swami has provided the answer through Kalyani's question.
Yeah,
like through sadhanas.
We are all in different stages of artharthi jignasu.
Sitaram, can't you see the coincidence?
Yes, Anna. These are the sadhanas that we are doing now.
Exactly. Through faith. Yeah. So Arthi and Arthati, how they transform into Jignasu is through sadhanas, faith, vishwasa, and krama, step by step.
Gradually
they do that.
Gradually.
Dwara gnanamanu cherugalutunnaru. They are reaching that stage of gnana.
So we are all certified now by Swami.
We can ourselves.
We can self-evaluate that.
Very necessary here.
Where we are.
So the artha and the arthati, through sadhana, vishwasam and vicharana, they step by step transform themselves into jignasu.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they become jnana.
Then they become jnana.
And then guna rahita, what does rahita mean?
Without, no gunas. Jnani is without any gunas. He's beyond gunas. See, that's what Swami say, he's unaffected by the gunas. Rajas, tamas, sattva, that's what the translation says.
And sat pravartam, what does that mean, I think?
Your behavior should be good. Sat pravartana.
And then sat alochana.
Sadalochana.
Your thinking also should be good.
Oh, thinking.
I don't know, there, Sitaram, I'm translating, but Sitaram and all there, you can correct me.
No, now we are having the elevating experience.
That's brother, the high elevating.
I hope there's no sarcasm.
No pun.
Brother, the gather elevating experience doesn't include that, I know there's something is incorrect, but does it means like a understanding Swami's miracles and that? It's like a Swami said, it's a visiting card, right? So it's like that kind of thing, the Artha and Artha, these are like understanding to connect.
I think we have to ask the translator or Sai Sitaram.
Sitaram.
Yes, Brother Pastor.
Sairam, brother. Artha and Artha, they have to go through the difficulties. When they go through the difficulties only, they can differentiate what is real and unreal. So when they offer and with the Swami's grace only, you will understand the difference. Then you can move to Jinnasus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it's yes, Kalyani, you have something?
So just the last line of this on the slide, because they all seek the same high goal. Is it the same in Telugu?
Yeah. దానిని ఆశ్రయించి చరించుతున్నారు. దాని ద్వారా జ్ఞానమును చేరగలుగుతున్నారు. దానిని ఆశ్రయించి తరించుచున్నారు. They are, because they all seek the same goal.
I think, Auntie, the next paragraph also, I think, is
పై విధముగా సాధన స్థానములు ఒకదాని ద్వారా. No, it doesn't say this. The high goal is reached. దాని ద్వారా జ్ఞానమును చేరుకలుగుతున్నారు. That is the high goal.
Okay.
Oh, is it the translation is the same? High goal?
High goal, yeah.
And what does it say about Australia?
దానిని ఆశ్రయించి తరించుతున్నారు. They depend on that goal. They seek that goal.
Oh, like they take refuge in the goal?
You cannot say that ఆశ్రయించి. Because they have that goal, they are blessed. తరించుతున్నారు. They are blessed.
Auntie, then the last paragraph, తాను చేరవలసిన స్థానమును చేరును. The other things are not there in that. He has not translated. Yeah, I know. పై విధముగా సాధన స్థానములు ఒకదాని ద్వారా ఒకటి దాటే గమ్యమును చేరవలెను. Oh, maybe that is the. All these 4 types of bhaktas are my own. Yes. Adi sollala. He has not done it. Which page, Auntie, you are reading? 102? 101. No, see, because Swami has covered 102, correct. First paragraph, Auntie. One nimisham. Gamyamu ogate kanuka. Because the goal is same. Kana alpa vastuvalnu koraka adi daivamunu korutalo ఆనందం మెండు. అల్ప వస్తువును కోరేవారు కృప. That's are not there here. It is not given. ప్రయాణం చేయవారు కొన్ని కష్టములు శ్రమలకు గురి కావాల్సి వచ్చును. అయితే కడకు గమ్యము మాత్రం నలుగురు చేరుదురు. All these 4 types of bhaktas will reach the same. Yeah. కానీ కాల కర్మముల వ్యత్యాసము. Pace and the process and the pace are different. అందువలనే భగవంతుడై ఈ 4 విధములు వారు నావారే. All of mine. All four of mine. అని పలుమార్లు తెలుపుచుందును. Many times he has declared it. Yes. కారణమేమి? What's the reason? గమ్యము ఒకటే కనుక. The goal is one. Goal is the same. కాన అల్ప వస్తువులను కోరక అది దైవమును కోరుటలో ఆనందము మెండు.
Anandam.
I think that's not translated. I don't know whether it's the next paragraph in the English.
It goes to the next paragraph, I think, in English.
Possibly. Gamyamu okkade ganuka. So that means the goal is the same.
There it stops, correct.
That stops, yeah.
Why is Swami saying they have the same goal? Because he earlier talked about how they have like goals in the world and as well, whereas the jnani only has the goal of the Lord.
See, Swami is not telling that they seek the same goal. Their goal is the same.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They don't see, sometimes we don't know what the goal is. Okay. Because sometimes everyone goes, if everyone is jumping into a train, other people also jump into the bandwagon, but they don't know where they are going. But Swami is saying there's only one goal they all have to reach. Okay. Gamyam okkate. Not that they are seeking the same goal.
Oh, okay.
They may be seeking without their knowledge. Okay, if you want to put it that way. But Swami is not saying they are seeking. Swami is saying they have all the same goal.
Okay. So
Goal
when
is the same for everyone.
Because when Swami is saying all these 4 bhaktas are my own, even people who are not bhaktas are also his own. Because the goal is the same for everyone, isn't it?
Everyone has to reach that goal.
And also whether or not it is a high goal, it's always subjective. My high goal, if a very weak person in math, I would say my goal is getting only 50%. Someone very high in math, there's 100 or 110. But all those, when we compare, both persons are really in high goal. Maybe that's the way I understood this sentence. It doesn't matter. It should be one goal. It could be subjective or relative to that person's destination.
So, Sairam, brother.
Yes, Brother Dasan.
So my understanding is why Swami is saying all are artha, gymnastic or jnanis, they are all my devotees or all my bhaktas. Even they are asking for wealth, but they know only God can give. They are not asking self-realization, but they are depending on God. So all 4 people are depending on God. Because of that, they are my bhaktas. Someone is asking self-realization, jnani is asking self-realization. Others, they are asking worldly object, but they are rely on the God. They are not asking someone. Because of that, they are all my bhaktas. Thank you, Brother Saira.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, if I can ask one last confusion. It says here, in spite of those difficulties, it can be accomplished by the artha if he persists. So is Swami saying even as an artha, you can get to the high goal? Or because earlier it seemed like you have to go from artha in the stepwise to jignasu then jnani.
See, so if you see, the reality is everyone wants a peace of mind. You want to, you don't want to have any trouble. You want to be as calm and blissful as possible. That's what everyone is reaching, if you want to call that. And that itself is considered God. Satchit Ananda. Okay, Ananda is only God can give. So that's the real goal. But the thing is, people seek Ananda in all sorts of things in this world. They think that will give them lasting joy, and even though they don't realize, nothing in this world gives a lasting joy. So in that sense, even Artha or Artharthi or Jignasu or Jnani, actually they want the same goal. But they are seeking it in the wrong places. Okay, because of that distraction, because of that ignorance, that they can get it from anywhere in the world, becomes a distraction. Okay, and then what happens when they get disappointed? Then they look for it somewhere else. That is what is Aneka Bhakti. Okay, you think you will get it from the objects, you will get it from people, you will get from certain experiences. Nothing actually sustains. But the jnani knows the goal, the final goal from where he can get it is only God. Jignasu, through study, will come to know, come to the state of a jnani. rather than an artha and artharthi. So the thing is, sometimes we have a problem. If somebody is having an ailment, you go to the root cause and find out what the ailment is. But they may say, oh, I have a headache, can you give me medicine for headache? Or I have this pain. But the problem, that is only a symptom. But the symptom doesn't cure the disease. So the same way, that is why Swami says, even Artha, if he persists, he will get means. The Artha also wants the real thing, which is everlasting joy. Okay. But he doesn't know where to seek. So he seeks everywhere, and as long as he persists in that search for that peace, eternal joy, eternal bliss, he will one day find it. Even though today he may be distracted. But the problem is, God is standing there. Instead of asking God to give himself, we ask God, gives me something. That is the fundamental problem with the Artha Bhaktas. See, they think they know the solution. So they tell Swami, give me this, then I will be okay. Swami will say, you fool, if you ask for me, you have everything. But the Artha Bhakta and Artha, all of them, actually, it's like going to a doctor and telling the doctor, give me this medicine. The doctor will say, why am I here? They will say, I heard it in the radio, this medicine is good, please prescribe that for me. Okay, so that's the way we go to God and say, God, give me $1 million and all my problems will go away, and he will laugh. And he will give you, you go find out for yourself with its sorts. Okay, so that is the Artha persists, he will also get the ultimate. I hope it's okay.
That makes sense. So, but he will eventually get it by becoming a jignasu.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because you will find, this is not working, this is not working, then you will, one day you will say, it's like, people who, they say, you do it yourself, you can buy a package. Okay, you want to feel. No one reads the manual and they start building, and then they find they are not building it right. At the end, they will say, okay, let me go and now read the manual. So reading the manual is like jignasa. So, study, you get the knowledge. And then, of course, you can. So it's the same thing with everyone. Even in spirituality, it's the same thing. Everyone is not reading the manual. They're trying on their own, and that's the problem. Okay. Yes, Brother Sitaram, go ahead.
Sai Ramana, just wanted to, kind of remind ourselves that Swami is clearly telling that all are equal, like nobody is, Artha is no less than a Jnani, because every Jnani is at some point was a Artha. It is only a progressive stage of a devotee on how close he's becoming to God and how much he's seeing God around himself and in himself. So we should not see somebody and think, okay, this guy is Artha and I am Jignasu, so I am superior. Well, that kind of feeling should not be there. This is a reminder for myself, not for anybody else.
Yes,
but
yes.
I thought we should clearly make that sense out of what Swami is telling clearly. Like, all are my own, which means all are equal. But for me, where am I? How much far am I from that destination? And what is my process and what is my pace? Is a reminder that we all need to think about. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sitaram.
Thank you.
So I think we went past 4:30. So I think we'll close the session. It was wonderful discussion. Actually, this what makes it easy for us to, in our own application of Swami's teachings. This type of discussions help. Very, very nice. So we'll close with Samastaloka and Shanti. I may have to miss the next session, but all of you continue. I will see you the following week. Saira.
So, brother, I just wanted to announce here. Can I make the announcement, please?
Yes.
Okay. Brother is going for Adhirudram to Trinidad.
Not Adhirudram.
Then, brother, you can
Jagna.
Okay. Say, brother, about the Jagna, please, in the Trinidad that you are going.
Okay. It's Trinidad. The West Indies organization SSGC has organized 3-day Vedic celebration. So they have next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. There are celebrations, Ganapati Homam, Lalita Sahasranamam, Devi Upasana, and the last would be Ekadasha Rudram on Saturday. So it's another attempt of reviving Vedic practices or in the Western world. So Brother Vedanarayan is coming from Tirupati, and it's so good.
Yeah,
So
that
I'm
is
also
special.
I'm also planning to attend. It's a joy, you know, whenever whatever Swami has told, when it happens, it's nice because people have to learn. There will be benefit for this part of the world. The vibrations are closer to home, so that's the idea. So hopefully we will have something like that in Canada also. Maybe next year we'll see.
Yeah.
We should have
Yes.
that. When are you coming back, Arun?
Sunday evening only, so I
Oh.
will not be able to attend.
Oh.
But maybe next year we will plan something in Canada.
Certainly, brother. You,
Certainly.
you discuss over there, and we will be having next year in Canada.
Certainly. Ask
Certainly.
Vedanarayanan to come.
Yeah. Please, brother.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Brother can
We
make
should
an
initiate.
arrangement.
While
Yes,
you
yes,
are there,
yes.
you initiate, please.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It has already been initiated. It's just a matter of us thinking
Yes.
through and planning.
Yes. Brother is our zonal Veda chant committee, so he can make the arrangement. So hopefully we look forward one for the next year. And so the next class, we don't have Sanskrit in the morning on the, that is on November 5th. And but we continue to have our study circle. Am I right, brother?
Yes.
And the following week is our Global Ahanda Bhajan 12th.
Yeah, so it will not be there, I think, for that week.
It
No,
will
we will
not.
not have.
Saturday morning also?
No, Saturday morning we'll have Sanskrit class, but Sunday, on the 13th, there will not be study circle.
There will not be study circle.
Okay, that's all the announcement, please. Thank you, Saira.
We'll close with Samastaloka. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Saira.
Thank you, Sairam.